Well, y'all, I'm back. What's happening? Today is Tuesday, y'all. It is Tuesday, May the 31st, 2022. And I am back in the chair today. After a wonderful vacation week, my family and I, we joined my family in Florida for my niece's graduation, and we just had a great time. It was good to be away. I want to say a shout out to Deborah Johnson for sitting in the host chair. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. I want to say thank you to Isaiah, who was sitting in the host chair. And I want to say thank you for Kenny Stanley for doing what he does. So, anyway, y'all, I just want to say thank you for all the viewers to continue to watch. And again, a shout out to Deborah Johnson, to Isaiah Jones, and to Kenny Stanley. That alone let me know that I can disappear and not have a worry in the air. Don't worry about it. I may be calling one of you to sit in the host chair as well one day soon. But it was just good to be away, but I'm so glad to be back. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James, Marion Jackson, and Adrian Gladish. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Do me a favor, because people are like, where are they? I had text messages on Thursday talking about, are you back? Is anybody filling in? I had text message yesterday asking the same questions. So if y'all would just help me to let everyone know that News in Motion is back live, I would greatly appreciate it. Just hit that share button and let everybody know that we're in the seat today. I see you, Valerie Johnson. Good morning to you. For everyone who's tuning in by audio, good morning to you as well. I see you, Lori Wallace. Good morning. So, yes, y'all, I had a great time just away with family, chilling, relaxing, having a great time. And I mean to tell you, a great time. What's up, Dr. Antoinette? How does it feel after walking across that stage, girl? Good morning to my sister, Patricia Lowson. There she is, Deborah Johnson. You missed it. I just wanted to say thank you for filling in while I was out in this host seat. Listen, y'all will be amazed. Y'all be surprised. I haven't watched any of them, but I've heard that y'all just was straight fire, all three of you. And it's just so good to know that I could go away, don't have to tune in, don't have to look at anything, knowing that those of you who have been given an assignment could take it and run. What's up, Davia? What's up? Yes, Deborah held it down. She and Isaiah held it down, and Kenny. Yes. Good morning, Camille Hopkins. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I'm glad to see Davia pop on here. I know she gets tired of this, but I don't care. I love her. She knows it. Y'all, she hit 1,000 downloads. So let's celebrate her with her podcast. Y'all, it's taking off, and we want to celebrate her. What's up, Mary Owens? Tuning in from LinkedIn, and Camille is from YouTube. All right, y'all, we have some news. I was trying to decide which direction I wanted to go today, and I had to just be still and let the Lord speak to give me where I was headed, because I know we're all tired of the news. But again, we cannot get to a place where we just turn it off, because that becomes dangerous. So I got some headlines for you after this intro. We'll be right back. All right, something happened. Something happened. I guess we're here. I don't know what just happened. I'm looking for Isaiah, and he's telling me something happened, y'all. The intro blocked. I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't matter. Y'all know who I am, so let's do this thing. All right, y'all. Today is Tuesday, May 31st, 2022. Now, here's a conversation I pulled from the White House press pool on yesterday between Courtney Rosen and President Biden. Courtney Rosen is a White House reporter for Bloomberg Government. The question that Courtney asked was, do you feel more motivated to act on guns now? As they put in their Pontius, President of the United States, replied, I've been pretty motivated all along. The folks who are victimized, their families, they spent 3 hours and 40 minutes with me. They waited all that time. Some came 2 hours early. The pain is painful, which I don't know why it was like that, but it is. And I think a lot of it is unnecessary. I'm going to continue to push. Good morning, Pastor Alex and Cherie. And then the question came back, is there anything different on how Republicans will approach the gun reform question now? He responded, since I haven't spoken to them, I don't know. I opened up with that dialogue from the White House press pool to talk about it was somewhat shocking to go and see that the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, announces a bill. And if passed, the new anti gun legislation will fine gun smuggling and trafficking. The new legislation would also require that long gun magazines could never hold more than 5 rounds. He quotes, gun violence is a complex problem, but at the end of the day, the math is really quite simple. The fewer the guns in our communities, the safer everyone will be. I share that because on the US side, we don't know what we want to do about guns and gun legislation and bills. But here on the Canadian side, that doesn't have anywhere near the massacres or the shootings that we have in the US, is already putting another gun legislation, another gun bill before the people. So we got to sit back and say, what is it? And is money, dirty money, that important? Yeah, I went there, dirty money. Is it that important? So I go ahead and I look in the Texas Tribune reports, the Justice Department will review the response by local police to last week's mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, according to reports over the weekend. The move comes amid mounting questions over decision to not fully engage the attacker at the scene, allowing time to remain barricaded inside a pair of classrooms for more than an hour, 78 minutes to be exact. Now, local officials, they have faced intense criticism over contradictory details and lack of clarity surrounding the timeline of the day. Now, sources say officers were present outside the classroom by 11:35 a.m. However, the suspect was not killed until 12:50 p.m. when the Tactical Border Patrol unit breached the first room. Now, during these 78 minutes, some say 75 to be exact, reports suggest officers were told not to engage despite multiple calls by students to 911 from inside the classroom. So, y'all, the stories continue to change, things continue to be said, and this is where prayer is so, so important. Now, the Associated Press also reports that they will begin to say goodbye to the 19 children and the 2 teachers who were shot to death at their school. This week, there are 11 children and a teacher who will have their funerals. And the U.S. Justice Department will review law enforcement response to the shooting. And that's the Associated Press responding. Now, MSNBC reports that the Buffalo shooter shared plans before the attack while with other white supremacists in an online chat room. So that has been uncovered as well. So I have a couple of call to actions today. And the first one is this that is both of these are from Everytown. But the first one is 5 actions we can take now to help end our gun violence crisis. Number 1, tell your senators to take bold action on gun safety, which means we need to call our senators immediately. Number 2, join your local Moms Demand Action or Student Demands Action chapters. We can just Google that. You can go to everytown.org to find the chapter nearest you and join your local chapter. Number 3, join an upcoming volunteer event in your community. And there's many. I looked in our areas that are from our viewership, and there are tons of volunteer activities. leading up to Juneteenth. Number 4, sign up to make phone calls with Gun Sense Action Network. Again, that's Gun Sense, SENSE, Action Network. And number 5, join the summer series to take weekly action. Again, you can go to everytown.org to find something that works for you. Now, here's the second call to action I want to share with you. And Isaiah, if you can put this on a banner, or if Marion or somebody could put this in a thread, I would greatly appreciate it. We need to text bold these words: senators must act now. So text in these bold letters: senators must act now, to 644-33. I'll give that to you again. Senators must act now. All bold. You text that to 644-33. Again, you text it to 644-33. And this is what you're going to demand. And this is a part of your text message. Number 1, you're going to demand that if you believe in this, demand that background checks on all guns sales. So you're going to demand that there be background checks on all gun sales. The other one is a federal extreme risk law. So have a federal extreme risk law. You want to confirm Steve Dettelbach as the ATF director. And I'm going to spell Steve's last name. And that's DE, T as in Tom, ELBACH, as the ATF director. I went and looked him up. His background is solid. Again, you look him up as well. Y'all know here I believe in education and teaching you how to look up the information on your own. Thank you, Isaiah. Information on your own. So go and look him up. Again, his name is Steve, and his last name is spelled D as in David, E, T as in Tom, ELB as in boy, ACH, as the ATF director. Again, I went to research him. His information is solid. Number 4, regulate assault weapons. Number 5, raise the age to buy a gun. And number 6, repeal the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. Again, we will take these images and post them in the thread as well so that you will have them. But y'all, this is where we are. And I had to really pause yesterday to see that here is the Prime Minister of Canada is already out there to put something in place in action. And it didn't even happen in his country. Now, I see some of the threads, so I want to deal with some of this as well. And it comes through our voting, through our voice. Now, we have a responsibility as the constituents to reach out, to call, to not just take the email that they send back, excuse me, that is a template email. We have a responsibility to show up at some of these town hall meetings. If you want to learn more, just inbox me on my personal Facebook page, and I will send you the Zoom link for a special webinar that I'm doing tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30, maybe close to 1 o'clock, where I'm going to break all of this down. And I'm going to give templates and everything that you can use. But y'all, we have a responsibility as eligible voters to go out and do and to show up and to let our voices be heard. We cannot become so numb to this that we no longer have a reaction. So with that being said, we need to highlight those who are receiving funds. And if you go to everytown.org, you will see every last senator, representative who's receiving hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars from the NRA. So they're being bought. They're needing that money to run their campaign. And we need to say enough of that. Enough of that. I'll share here. I've been in conversations with people who are saying, we've seen you on News and Motion. People don't even know. We've seen you on News in Motion. You have a passion. You sure you don't want to run? No, I don't want to run. I don't want to run. And I don't want to run because I want to be on this end educating. I want to be on this end educating. But I know there's some of you out there who are ready to run. And if that's you, let me know so that I can connect you with people who's going to help you to run. And that's regardless of what side of the aisle you choose to be on. That's what's happening there. So with that being said, let me give you, and what's the girl on Instagram again? I love her phrase. You about to be sick of me. November the 8th. And yeah, it's way soon. This is not even June yet, but November the 8th is probably the most important midterm election of my lifetime. November the 8th. Y'all, there are 35 Senate seats up for grabs. 35 Senate seats are up. All, I need somebody to type in the chat, all. That's capital ALL, all 435 House seats are up for re-election. Did y'all know that? I knew that, but I just could not get it in my head straight. I'm like, all of them? All 435 House seats are up for re-election. All of them. All of them. Y'all, here's an opportunity to do something major. Something major. Even if I won't go all of it, just there's an opportunity here. And I don't think we really realize that there's this kind of opportunity. So we have 35 Senate seats, all 435 House seats are up for re-election. And we also have 36 governors are up for re-election. Yes, Deborah Johnson, we almost vote. Now listen, as of May, the month that we're in right now, there are 48 representatives and one non-voting delegate, as 32 Democrats and 17 Republicans have announced that they will be retiring. Reasons why? They feel as if we are losing democracy. Yeah, we have a problem. We have a serious problem. I hope you all are paying attention to this. And so it's that time that we check our voting registration status weekly, no longer monthly, y'all, but weekly. We're at that place. So there's 3 things you need to check. And you can go to whenweallvote.org or vote.us to check. There's others. I'm just giving you 2 today. Trust me, you'll be hearing about it almost every day I'm on here. Thank you, whenweallvote.org. And then the other one is vote.us. You want to check to make sure your address is correct. Check and make sure if you have moved, I don't care if you moved 2 years ago, check and make sure it's been updated. If you're planning on moving, time it as best you can to make sure you go to your BMV or online. You can go to these 2 websites and update your address. Then you have to make sure the accuracy of your address is on your bills, on your state ID or whatever. Now, thank you to Christina Peck, who put in some facts and myths last week while I was gone. I did an update to that. She pulled a lot of that from a state website. And I just did some updates to show you to check your Secretary of State's office to find out what's right for you. For example, wearing paraphernalia, you cannot do that in every state. So check your state website to see what it is and what you can wear and what your ID needs to look like. So make sure that your address is accurate and then update all of your IDs and information to make sure it's correct. Number 2, check the accuracy of your name. If you are getting married or if you have become married, make sure you change whatever you need to change. In many cases, you now have to take your birth certificate and your marriage license to the BMV. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I've researched this. Please hear me. Don't let somebody say, oh, you don't need to do that. You do. You need to do that. You need to do that. And number 3, make sure you are still a registered voter. Make sure you have not been purged. Make sure you have not been purged. And I see y'all filling up the chat. Thank you. Y'all, this is important. I care. The News in Motion family and team, we care about what's about to happen. Now, with that, what else is on the list? The CNBC is reporting that the Biden administration reportedly is considering forgiving $10,000 in student loan debt for borrowers under $150,000 in individual income and $300,000 for couples. I want to say publicly right here on News in Motion, that's some crap. 10 grand, that's no money. Most bills are probably 150,000 to 300,000 for one person. Y'all can do better than that. Y'all can do better than that. Again, I will say, as much as I am more at peace with this administration, I'm not having sleepless nights as I did with the previous administration. We have work to do. We have work to do. And we can see that work in our local elections and in the House and in the Senate. We can see that done. We can see it done. But we're going to have to rise up and make sure it happens. Already the news is being flooded with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi. She wasn't driving the car. He was. He was involved in a car accident. Then he was soon thereafter arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol on Saturday night. Paul Pelosi, age 82, could face a misdemeanor, including charges driving under the influence and driving with a blood alcohol content level of 0.08 or higher. And that's being reported by HuffPost. But I want to stress again, she wasn't in the car. She wasn't even driving the car, but they're trying to turn that on her. That's why it's so important that we check the facts and we find reputable resources before we just put something out there through social media that had nothing at all to do with her. She's just married to him. She's just married to him. All right, y'all. So voting is important. You're going to hear more and more of that from me right here on News in Motion. It is important. So with that, I know we have some news from Kenny Stanley when it comes to sports. So come on in here, Kenny, and give us what you have to give us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good morning, News in Motion family. Hey, the NBA Finals is here. Kick off Thursday night at 9 o'clock. We got the Eastern Conference champions, the Boston Celtics, going up against the Western Conference champions, the Golden State Warriors. Who you rolling with? I picked Golden State last year at the end of last season. Yes, I'm a 76ers fan. I told everybody this. I tell anybody. I'm a Sixers fan. But I'm a realist. Golden State returned basically their whole team, minus KD, who they really didn't need anyway. They won 73 games the year before KD. They got a winning formula. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Denny Green, and then they added the young guy, Jordan Poole. Oh, my gosh. Golden State, they look like they're not going to be stopped, y'all. They're on their way to another ring. This will put Steph Curry in the talk as one of the greatest to ever play this game. Eastern Conference Finals didn't end. Well, it ended, but there was a little bit of controversy. I don't see what the problem was, but there's a lot of people from Miami who are Heat fans saying it was controversial. With 11 minutes left in the third quarter, Max Strauss took a three-point shot. Took the lead down to 7. I said, uh-oh, Miami's on the run. 5 minutes later, the 3 points came off the board because replay all the way back in New Jersey caught that Strauss, when he took the 3, was standing out of bounds. I don't know how the officials missed it, but his foot was definitely on the line. I don't see what the controversy was, and honestly, Miami, you had the whole fourth quarter to mount your comeback so you can go to the championship. C'est la vie. That's it. In the NFL, I am sad to report that Arizona Cardinals safety Jeff Gladney was killed in an auto accident yesterday morning. Gladney was the former number one pick of the Minnesota Vikings out of TCU in 2020. Officials say he was involved in an accident at 2:30 in the morning. He and his female passenger was pronounced dead at the scene when their vehicle was turned back over. The officials also say that Gladney was speeding when he clipped the car in front of him and lost control of his car. They continue to wait on the medical examiner's report, putting together, so they continue to put together what happened. Listen, young people, professional or non-professional, whatever you want to call yourself, nothing good happens at 2:30 in the morning. Nothing. I know you think you're invincible. I thought I was invincible. There's a lot of people in this room who thought they were invincible. We're not. At 2:30 in the morning, nothing but bad happens. Please take care of yourself. We got another life gone. A few weeks ago, we lost former OSU and Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins to an accident early in the morning when he was hit by a dump truck. Come to find out, he was intoxicated walking down the highway. I hate to say it, but it doesn't look good for this Gladney guy. It looked like he may have been intoxicated speeding down the highway at 2:30 in the morning. Please, people, nothing good happens at 2:30 in the morning. Go home. Please go home. In other NFL news, the Las Vegas Raiders gave Colin Kaepernick, that's right, Colin Kaepernick a workout, and it went very well. No deals have been made yet, but if the Las Vegas Raiders sign Colin Kaepernick, Kenny Stanley, biggest Dallas Cowboy fan you know, will be first in line to buy a Colin Kaepernick jersey. Yes, I said it. I will have on my Kaepernick jersey. I stand with Kaepernick. Kaepernick hasn't played since 2016 when he was blackballed for taking the knee for protesting racial injustice. As we see now in 2022, racial injustice still goes on. I stand with Kaepernick. I will buy a jersey. It was people like the former guy, Agent Orange. They made his protest about something that it wasn't. They made it about the flag. It wasn't about the flag. It was about racial injustice. I got a public service announcement. Listen up. Gervonta Tank Davis, 135-pound boxing champ, is pound for pound the best boxer out there in the game. He keeps his eye on the prize, no matter what's going on around him. This past Saturday, after Roland Romero, a former campmate under Floyd Mayweather, sold all kind of whiff tickets until the 6th round when he got hit with a straight left right down the pipe, and he was put to sleep. I think people better wake up and leave Tank alone or bring on some better competition. I mean, the man is so good, he went up 2 weight classes and knocked somebody out. Yeah, Gervonta's that dude. Okay, enough is enough. It's been since February. It's time to get Brittany Griner home. I don't care what these government officials got to do. Get our sister home. Stop playing with her life. Stop playing with her wife's life. Get her home. You do everything else you want to do. Get her home. That's sports. Game over. Let's get back to Gail with more news.
Thank you so much with that. And I concur. Bring Brittany Griner home.
Bring her home.
Let that be a negotiation.
Yes. Bring her home.
Thank you so much.
All right. I'll see y'all next week.
All right. Your wife popped in and said, look at my sweetie.
That's my favorite.
I see you, Joe. All right, y'all. CBS News report a century-old artifact worth an estimate 2 million was stolen from the St. Augustine Roman Catholic Church in Brooklyn, New York, officials revealed over the weekend. They call it a great heist of a church. Thieves made off with the parish tabernacle and altar centerpiece used in the rite of communion, which was made of solid 18-karat gold and adorned with jewels. So that happened. Y'all, Variety reports, I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers. Top Gun Maverick hauls in $156 million over Memorial Day weekend in North American box office, the best Memorial Day debut in history. Also, y'all, yesterday the leaders of the the EU, I switched those around, agreed to immediately block the export of 75% of Russian oil to this 27-nation union. The sanction is in response to Russian President Putin's invasion of Ukraine. All right, y'all, here's the inspirational message today. I see you, Deborah. You are very welcome. Here's the inspirational message for today. And I want y'all to really tune in on this. I want to call this, Let Me Talk to You. Let me talk to you. 2 weeks ago, I put up, it would have been the Thursday before I went on my much needed vacation with my family. 2 weeks ago, I had a Instagram story, and it's a reel, Instagram reel, and it's still up because I refuse to take it down. And I was talking about protecting yourself from COVID-19 with the numbers on the rise again. And I laid out, some things like wear your mask and some other things. And then in the description, I put so many different hashtags and talked about so many different things. And I also talked about, but do what's best for your body. That's in there at least 2 or 3 times. Do what's best for you and your body is the exact way I said that. Man, have I been attacked. It's been really crazy. And I sit there and I'm like, this is how we act today. So I was going through other reels of other people, looking at other information that's out there. And I just watch how people are attacking other people, even when it comes to gun reform and gun laws and gun legislation and so forth and so on. So here's my question for all of us today as we have this open dialogue, if you don't mind. Have we become the type of people that if we are not in 100% agreement with someone, we resort into attacking them and name calling and destroying their character? Is that what we do now? What happened to these conversations where we could freely have adult conversations and even agree to disagree and even look at ways that we do some of the things that we do? For whatever reason, I decided to respond to all of the critics that were on that reel. And when one responded back to me and said, wow, I reread my post to you, and I absolutely mean no disrespect, and thank you for responding to me. And I thought, that's interesting. Another person responded to me and said, yeah, you're right. It is our body. We should do what's best. Another person inboxed me, who I didn't even realize that I happened to know indirectly, said, well, after I've heard some other things about your family and your mom being really ill, I understand now why you wear a mask. And people just started engaging differently. But as long as you're not responding back, they just keep saying things. Even one, I said, wow, so we are resorting to name calling. I lost about 1,000 followers. I don't really care about that. But it's just very interesting that we become a society where we cannot agree to disagree, or we want to attack a person just because we don't agree with their viewpoint or their perspective. Y'all, when we go into voting on this November the 8th, 2022, it cannot be about the spin or the conspiracy theories or anything like that. It's important for us to do our own research. That's one thing that we advocate and talk here all the time. I had to respond to some of the people on that reel to say, your research is bogus. Here's several other links for you to look at. And the person responded to my inbox. It's amazing how they won't respond back to you on the thread, but they responded to my inbox and said, I didn't know these links existed, which said to me they did not do their research. Y'all, we have to be careful and we have to vet the sources, and we have to take a step back and say, okay, how does this affect me indirectly, directly, or not at all? Do I even need to comment? Do I have to agree with the person? Can I open up my mind to see, well, here's another angle or something else that we can be doing? Y'all, social media is just that, social media. And yes, we all use it, but be mindful before you respond and ask yourself, do I have to agree with this person or with this group or this statement 100% before I hit the delete button? Y'all, I can only imagine how we're living our days. The restless nights. We hear about mental health. And there's some great information out there. One of our own viewers is talking about breathing and how to breathe and how to think and how to pause and how to enjoy. Y'all, that's the inspirational message. When I was off for the entire week, it was amazing. It was amazing. I taught my nephew, age 12, how to swim. Y'all know I'm a swimmer. And no one in the family believed, except my husband, my children, believed that I could teach my nephew how to swim in 30 minutes. It took about 40, but he learned how to swim. And now I hear he's just taking off. I said, okay, when you join a swim team, let your Aunt Gail know so I can come out and support you. Not only that, just the laughter, just sitting back, just chilling, not tuning in to News in Motion or any news for that fact, but just enjoying life. Y'all, that's what's important. With everything that's going on with school shootings, with massacres, with murders in a grocery store, with white supremacist online chat rooms, with how we treat each other, it's just ridiculous. I had to check someone in my own family the other day, and I'm going to share this and I'm going to sign off. When I came back from Florida, I went to do something. Some family members were there. And in Florida, y'all know Florida, Pastor Alex, you know Florida, it's hot and it's humid. And my hair is really naturally curly. So I had been swimming and just having fun. I was just throwing on some gel and really the humidity was just letting it just do something. So we come back, I didn't care. So I had to go do something and meet up with some family. And somebody in my family said, what's wrong with your hair? And I said, what's wrong with it? It's fine. You know, just do you. I'm that kind of free. And they said, well, you have good hair. I don't know why that came out of their mouth. Because I ended up going into a whole long light skin, dark skin, good hair, bad hair. I had a whole long conversation. I said, you need to watch the things that you say. I said, for me, I'm mature. I'm good. I don't care. You don't have to like my hair. I'm fine with it just the way it is. But I had to correct them and say, be careful saying good hair and bad hair. I said, we're already causing division within our own race, within our own family. And just imagine how we get attacked outside the race and outside our family. We have to watch what we say and how we say it, y'all. We have to watch the things that come out of our mouths. Let me talk to you this morning, just to give you some ideas that, okay, it's time for us to pause. It's time for us to breathe. It's time for us to think twice about some of the things we say and we do. Yes, Kim Edmondson, stop that. Yes, Nicole Burton, child, listen, we need to get over ourselves. You know, so many of us are already concerned because our hair is thinning from whether it's stress or COVID or the environment or whatever. We already have some sort of complex that comes with that without you even knowing about it. We should not have to speak about it for you to think about the things that you've said. Since I've been on News in Motion since June 22nd of 2020, yes, y'all, 2020, it's been 2 years, almost 2 years now. I've been talking about be careful of the conversations you have at the table, because somebody at that table may need to share something with you and they could be in serious trouble, but they stop short of sharing it because of the conversations we've had secretly at the table with each other. Y'all, time out, time out, time out. And yes, I'm bringing voting right back in here. Y'all, when it's time to vote, we have to seriously consider and think about who we want in those seats. Who we want. Are we wanting somebody who's going to speak truth to power, or we want somebody who's going to lie in front of our face and do something else when they get in office? As much as I have advocated for President Joseph Biden, I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling because it's like, what's happening here? All of these policies and rules and promises that you made. We signed up, we came behind you, but we're not seeing much of that fruit. And now we're in trouble. Where's voting rights, Joe? Where's gun laws, Joe? Where's student debt cancellation, Joe? Uncle Joe, Papa Joe, Pontius Joe, whatever. Where's that? Where's that? To everyone we put in those seats, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're dying out here. Literally, every day, we're dying. So, y'all, all of those things are on the ballot. Again, just let me talk to you this morning. I just want to talk to you. We have a lot that we're facing. Now it's up to us. Y'all, November the 8th, 2022. It's not that far away in the distance. But before we can even get there, how are we treating and looking out for one another? Y'all are so glad to be back in the seat right here at News in Motion. Until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves.